Viva Mexico, cabrones. The UFC is back for its Noche UFC event. Once again, not in Mexico, but either way, pretty good card, banger of a main event. No time to waste. Let's get into it. First fight of the night, we got Quang taking on Santiago Luna. So Lee is 9-2. That is 1-2 in the UFC. Luna is 6-0. This will be his UFC debut. Lee has won 3 of his last 5. Luna, obviously undefeated, so has won 6 straight fights. Quang Lee, 33 years old. Luna still just 21 years old. I'm going to take the over 1.5 rounds here. It's minus 200. I'm going to parlay it. I'll get to it as I go. Lee's hit it in 5 of his last 8 fights, and Luna's hit it in 3 of his 6 pro bouts. So, little risky here, but I feel like Quang Lee, the type of guy who usually goes long. Luna, I don't know much about. Just hoping this goes a little long, guys. Over 1.5. Let's go. If you're looking for anything else to take, I strongly consider taking Quang Lee as the dog here. Very surprised he was the dog here. Plus 100, might move in either direction, but either way, Lee, he can mix it up. He averages over 3 takedowns per 15 minutes, and he's definitely fought the better competition. Luna's last win on the regionals came to a guy who was 4-6. The fuck is that? Also, he's only 21 years old, which I just feel like is way too young. You still got a lot to learn. Could see a savvy veteran decision here from Lee. Either way, I like Quang Lee in this fight. If you're looking for anything else, take the over 2.5. It's minus 135, so you'd have to parlay it. Still a pretty damn good price. Lee's hit it in 5 of his 11 pro fights, including 1 of his UFC fights. And Luna's only hit it once in 6 pro fights, but 2 of his last 3 have made it to round 3 for whatever that's worth. And last but not least, Luna by finish is plus 250. All 6 of his pro wins have come by finish, and Lee has been finished before. To get that at plus 250 is kind of wild. I don't know if he finishes Lee, but everything is there for the making of that. So kind of crazy odds. Next fight of the night, we got Kelvin Gastelum taking on Dustin Stoltzfus. So Gastelum is 19-10 with 1 no contest. That is 13-10 with 1 no contest in the UFC across welterweight and middleweight. Stoltzfus is 16-7. That is 3-6 in the UFC. Gastelum has alternated wins and losses in his last 5 fights. Stoltzfus has alternated wins and losses in his last 7 fights. Both these guys, 33 years of age. I mean, dude, you can't take Dustin Stoltzfus in a fight. I'm taking Kelvin Gastelum all day here, minus 250. I'm going to parlay it. I'll get to it as I go. He's got the same amount of UFC fights as Dustin has pro fights, and the majority of his UFC career has come against ranked opponents, former champions, all this shit. Dustin, arguably not even on the UFC level, man. This guy just never looks good out there. Also, he gets hit as often as he lands, so I don't know. I just feel like this is a good bounce back for Kelvin here, hopefully. I mean, maybe he's washed. Maybe he's done, but I think this is a bounce back fight for him. If you guys are looking for anything else to take, the over 2.5 is minus 180, so you'd have to parlay it, but not a bad price. Gastelum's hit it in 6 of his last 7. Stoltzfus hit it in his last fight, which, obviously he didn't hit it in much before that. He gets finished a lot, but Gastelum does tend to go long. Maybe he's going to play it safer here, needs a win. We'll see. Gastelum by decision is plus 150. 8 of his 19 pro wins have come by decision, including his last 4 wins. And Stoltzfus has lost by decision 3 times before, including his last fight. And if you think Gastelum's going to finish him, which, not that Gastelum's some big finisher, but, Stoltzfus is a big get-finished guy. So Gastelum by finish, plus 175. 11 of his 19 pro wins have come by finish, and Stoltzfus has been finished in 4 of his last 5 losses. So dude loves getting finished. Next fight of the night, we got Rafa Garcia taking on Jared Gordon. Let's go, Jared. Garcia is 17-4. That is 5-4 in the UFC. Gordon is 21-7 with 1 no contest. That is 9-6 with 1 no contest in the UFC. Both these guys are unbeaten in 3 of their last 4 fights. Garcia still just 31 years old. Jared Gordon just turned 37 years old. Getting up there, Jared. Age isn't anything, guys. I'm still going to take Jared Flash Gordon here, money line. Let's go. Minus 225. I'm parlaying it with Kelvin Gastelum, money line. Little veteran money line parlay there. Plus 102 for those two. Like that parlay a lot. Gordon, he lands more strikes per minute, and Garcia gets hit more often than he lands. Also, Rafa Garcia is clearly going to try and wrestle here. Jared Gordon hasn't been taken down in 6 straight fights, all right? He's got great anti-wrestling. He also, beat Paddy Pimblett. People forget that, all right? Yeah, he's 37. He's getting up there, but I just haven't seen enough out of Rafa to be yeah, I trust this guy. Let's go, Jared. You guys are looking for anything else to take? The over 2.5 is minus 300. Pretty hefty price, but this one probably goes long. Garcia's hit it in 9 of his last 11 fights, and Gordon's hit it in 7 of his last 10 fights. So both these guys love to go long. Could definitely see it going later. And speaking of it going long, and speaking of liking Jared Gordon by decision. It's minus 125, so you'd still have to parlay it. It's unfortunate it's not plus money, but either way, 11 of his 21 pro wins have come by decision, including 5 of his 9 UFC wins, and Garcia has lost by decision 3 times before, so no stranger to losing on the judges' scorecards. Co-main event, a little bit of a last-minute co-main event. We were supposed to get Rob Font versus Chiwiwi's Raul Rosas Jr. Raul drops out. David Martinez was supposed to fight Quang Lee. Then they switched that up. So, we've had a bit of musical chairs here, but now we get Rob Font versus David Martinez in the co-main event. Rob Font, 22-8. That is 12-7 in the UFC. Martinez is 12-1. That is 1-0 in the UFC. Font has won 3 of his last 5 fights. Martinez has won 8 straight fights. Rob Font is getting up there, man. 38 years old. Martinez, 27 years old. So, I considered taking Rob Font here. Just feel like it might be a trap fight. I'm going to go with the over 2.5. It's minus 300. I'm parlaying it with the over 1.5 in Quang Lee, Santiago Luna. Gets us plus 100. Nice and even there. Font's hit the over 2.5 in 7 of his last 8, and Martinez has hit it in 3 of his last 4. So could definitely see this one going long. I was considering Rob Font. I do feel like Rob Font probably wins the decision here. But the age thing and the unknown of David Martinez, he's only had 1 UFC fight and it lasted like a minute. Little risky to just go all in on Rob Font. But if you want to do that, that is my next prop. Rob Font money line minus 135, so you'd have to parlay it. He's got more UFC fights than Martinez has pro fights. And he's going to have a 4-inch reach advantage, and he lands slightly more strikes per minute. That 4-inch reach advantage is going to be huge because Rob Font just loves pumping that jab. And David Martinez is going to be eating that shit all day if he can't move out of the way of that. So I don't know, man. I do like Rob Font here. If you want him at plus money, take him by decision. Plus 110. 9 of his 22 pro wins have come by decision, including 3 of his last 4 wins. And Martinez's lone pro loss came by decision. This feels a lot like Rob Font's last few fights where he's facing like an up-and-coming prospect, but he just decisions them to a veteran decision. So that's why my head is completely like Font wins this by decision. But, anything could happen. Main event, and it is a banger. Diego Lopes taking on John Silva. Whew. Diego, 26-7. That is 5-2 in the UFC. John Silva, 16-2. That is 5-0 in the UFC. Lopes is coming off that loss to Alexander Volkanovski, but he was on a 5-fight win streak before that. Silva, he's won 13 straight, 12 of those coming by finish. Lopes, still just 30 years old. Silva, 28 years old. I got to say, win or lose for John Silva here at just 28 years old and how exciting he is. We got a fun few years to come here at featherweight. But that doesn't mean I'm going to ride with John Silva here. I'm taking Diego fucking Lopes money line. Plus 235. That's really the only reason I'm taking it. Plus 235? Is that serious? He's going to have a 4-inch height, 3-inch reach advantage. He's gotten a takedown in his last 2 wins. That's obviously going to be his plan here. It's also a 5-round fight. We've never seen John Silva out of the 3rd round. Huge X factor. Also, maybe it's, I did take the Fighting Nerds parlay last weekend and it blew up in my face. So maybe that's like, oh, dude, is this all coming unwinding now? Are the Fighting Nerds about to go from like top of the top to, oh shit, they were all never really that good? I don't know. Diego. Take it away, brother. If you guys are looking for anything else to take, Silva by finish, probably most likely outcome. It's minus 145. You'd have to parlay it. 15 of his 16 pro wins have come by finish, and Diego has been finished twice before. If you want a little extra off of that, Silva by KO is minus 120. Still have to parlay it. 12 of his 16 pro wins have come by KO, and both those times Diego was finished, you guessed it, by KO. And a couple overs here. If you like the over 1.5, it's minus 210, so definitely parlay it. Diego's hit it in 3 straight fights, and Silva's hit it in 2 of his last 3. The over 2.5, if you want a little extra off the top, is minus 160. It's obviously a little more risky. Diego's hit it in 3 straight. Silva has not hit it once in his 5 UFC fights, but he did hit it in his Contender Series fight, so he's shown he can go long. Either way, I This one is probably one that ends under 2.5, but I weirdly feel like it goes long, so I could like throw pop on a fucking decision.
I'm worth 100,000 like Woodrow. When a ball call me Wilson, going overboard at the Hilton.